Welcome to the third introductory video before we start learning the actual text of the Rambam inside. In this very crucial introduction, we will explain the Rambam's main point regarding Mashiach, as crystallized by the Rebbe in the Dvar Malchus. What is the essence of Mashiach according to Halacha? Much is written in the Torah about Mashiach. The prophets are full of descriptions of Mashiach. The sages describe many miraculous occurrences that will take place in Yemei Mashiach, and the greatest miracle of all, the resurrection of the dead. But Jewish law requires a definition of what are the defining characteristics of Mashiach. Well, why is this necessary? One of the 13 principles of Jewish faith is to believe in Mashiach. We therefore need a definition of what we are required to believe. And furthermore, how could we know if Mashiach came or not without a definition? Person comes and says he's Mashiach, how can we know? But Jewish law says exactly what Mashiach must do. If this person is not doing what Mashiach is supposed to do, then we know he's not. And if he does what Mashiach must do, then he is. The Rambam devotes 2 chapters discussing this subject. In chapter 11 of Hilchos Melachim, the Law of Kings, he discusses the ultimate king, Melachim Mashiach. And then in the 12th chapter, he describes what the world is going to look like in the days of Mashiach. First, chapter 11. From the point of view of Jewish law, the crucial function of a Jewish king is to enable his nation to serve Hashem completely and fulfill all the 613 mitzvahs. As a result of exile, the Jewish people were exiled from Eretz Yisrael, and the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. It's evident from the words of the Rambam that the mission of Mashiach is to make it possible once again to perform all the mitzvahs of the Torah. Now, a large number of these 613 commandments are dependent on the existence of the Beis HaMikdash and the presence of the Jewish people in Eretz Yisrael. If you look at the Mishnah, all the laws of the Torah are encapsulated in the Mishnah. They're organized into 6 sdorim, or orders. When the Jewish people were expelled from Eretz Yisrael, the agricultural laws no longer applied. So that basically nullified almost all of the first of the 6 sections of the Mishnah. Then when the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed, most of the 5th and 6th sdorim were also impossible to fulfill. And that's the essence of what Mashiach is all about, not to do something new, rather to bring Jewish observance back to its complete state, the way it was before the exile. And that's why the defining elements of what Mashiach must accomplish are rebuilding the Beis HaMikdash and bringing the Jewish people back to Eretz Yisrael. Because his mission is to complete the entire fulfillment of all of Torah mitzvahs. And to fulfill all of them, there must be a Beis HaMikdash, and the Jewish people must live in Eretz Yisrael. And that's why Mashiach is so central to Judaism. Hashem's will as expressed in the Torah is eternal. But will it exist eternally here in this world, in actual real life? It's Mashiach who will make this a reality. And therefore, Mashiach is spoken about in the 5 books of Moses itself, where all the 613 commandments have their source. The Torah itself says that there will come a time when all of its commandments will be fulfilled in their entirety, in real life, in our world. And this is the reason why Rambam stresses that Mashiach does not need to perform miracles. One does not need to perform miracles to do Hashem's mitzvahs. They can be performed within the natural order of this world. And indeed, that's the point, to transform this mundane world into an abode for Hashem's will. And although Mashiach might perform miracles, it's not necessary that he do so, because that's not the essence of his role. His mission is to bring about the fulfillment of Torah mitzvahs in this world. And it's therefore impossible to fool an informed person as to whether somebody is actually Mashiach or not. Person might be a potential candidate, so to say. But the essence of Mashiach is to bring back the complete fulfillment of all 613 mitzvahs. And there's no shortcut to accomplish that. He must rebuild the Beis HaMikdash and bring the Jewish people back to Eretz Yisrael. Only then, says the Rambam, can he be considered Mashiach b'vadai, definitely Mashiach. To take an analogy, let's say you own a bakery, and you're looking for a baker who can bake delicious challah. So what are you looking for? To see if he knows how to garden? You need someone who knows how to bake challah. How will you be able to tell? So the only way to tell 100% is after he bakes some challah. And that's the central point of this chapter, chapter 11. The Mashiach, his mission is to bring complete observance of all the mitzvahs. And performing miracles is not part of that mission. Rebuilding the Beis HaMikdash and bringing the Jewish people back to Eretz Yisrael is part of the essence of that Mishnah, because only in that way can all the mitzvahs be fulfilled. In the next video, we'll discuss the main point of chapter 12.